kick it with a player that gon' hold down. Pockets too big, I'm like, what now? Shawty say she drunk from the first round. I'ma buy another shot, I'ma buy another shot. I ain't got a time or a bust down. You can say I'm living.
What up, what up? This is episode 12 of the podcast, Real Life Lab Talk. I got my co-host here with me.
It's Whitesmoke.
And we got our very special guest, and he goes by the name of
Blkbird.
Blkbird. So I'm going to start off with the first question. Who is Blkbird?
Man, you picked a doozy for your first question. Well, are you saying who am I or who is Blkbird?
Yeah, that's overall.
Blkbird
Like,
really
who is Blkbird?
represents all my weaknesses. Blkbird represents all my weaknesses as strengths in the time I need them. Blkbird is kind of like a split identity. Kind of like Bruce Wayne did not consider himself Batman, nor Batman consider himself Bruce Wayne, if that makes sense.
Yeah, perfect sense.
Yeah. That's a dope-ass answer, actually, by
Definitely,
the way.
yeah. So where does the stage name Blkbird come from?
Brother, I could take your whole podcast on that. There's 117 reasons. Well, I wouldn't say they're reasons, but there's 117 things that led to the name of Blkbird. I'll just give you a few because it's coming out in my book. But first and foremost, the song Blackbird by the Beatles was written by Paul McCartney. Me and Paul McCartney share a birthday. Something had happened. I had gotten into some legal trouble,
That's
and
awesome.
I had my head split open with a bottle. It was my fiance had done it. I was actually taking the charge for it. And a phenomenon occurred for some reason because we had just went and watched Boss Baby before all this happened. And it has Blackbird, the song, in it. And for some reason, I started singing it to myself in my cell, not knowing I had brain damage. And I started to hear the song for like a week and a half straight. Blackbird by the Beatles. I heard it for it just nonstop. Sometimes it would fade, but it would come back. So I thought that was really bizarre. And I ended up going and getting treatment for that issue. When I came back, I was I sat in jail a little longer, and then I was sentenced to 48 weeks in prison. And if you looked at the date, that day that I was sentenced to 48 weeks in prison was 48 years after the song Blackbird had dropped. Numerically.
Whoa.
And there was just always crows
man.
and shit hanging outside of my cell. But Blackbird actually is an acronym. That's why I spelled it different. Is blind love kills, but I'd rather die. It harkens back. I'm actually legally blind. A lot of people don't know. I was born with ocular repriasis, and I had I had surgery to stop my eyes from wandering, but it didn't do much. So blind love kills, but I'd rather die. But I remember when my manager, he saw, because I used to be Chrome, Krome, and I was changing my name to Blackbird, and he fucking hated the spelling. He was like, "Why the hell would you spell it like that?" Okay, there's an AC there. I was like, it's the middle of summer. I was like, he didn't know that it was an acronym yet. He kind of didn't ask me. He just freaked out on me. I was like, because I'm hot, like there's no AC. Bars.
That's awesome. Yeah, bars. Before Whitesmoke asks you the next question, I want to slide in this little question because I forgot to add it. So I watched a video not too long ago of you actually like rapping. So, is that how you started when you first got into making music? And did it just transition to more of the pop?
Anything I'm really doing in my music isn't anything I set out to do. When I'm doing shows or I'm accomplishing goals, I set out to do that. But I have no idea at this point what the hell I'm going to come up with next, because it's never the same. It's like I almost get too bored with it. And that's a good question. Man, you were meant for this, Mike. Damn. That is a good question. I don't know, man.
Thank you, bro. See, because I didn't know you had bars like that. Like, I've only heard more of like your newer stuff. I've not really went back to your catalog.
They used to call me the Black
when I seen that
Eminem
video, I'm like,
in
okay.
Sandusky. Because Those videos you saw, I'm assuming you meant the back-to-back freestyle or the all-day freestyle. Yeah,
Yeah, you were in the
yeah, it was just a
car. You
fun
were in
thing
a
I
car,
did.
and somebody was outside
It
of it.
really amazed people because in Sandusky, we would be on Monroe Street, just posting on the corner, selling weed and rapping. It was fun. And then Johnny Reed
Right.
started Freestyle Fridays, and it was like a rap battle competition, and I ended up winning it. Man, I was shit faced. I don't know how I won it or what I said, dude. I said something. My last bar was I whip a because I rode a bike there and they kept clapping on me for it. And I compared it to a Batmobile somehow. It was genius, but see what I'm saying, dude? These things aren't things I set out to do. I kind of just
Yeah.
that's why I said Blackbird is a completely different entity to me. Because if you tell me it right now at this demeanor to spit some bars, I'd be like, okay, well you're gonna have to give me a minute, and in that minute I'll just become Black.
Exactly. Yeah. Evolve, transform.
Basically, so what you're saying is like you fly by the seat of your pants, baby. Just go with the flow, you know.
Not exactly.
Like, is that what you're saying? You just fly by the not. I don't know. Like
See, that's my
when
personality. I'd fly by the
said
seat
you
of my
rode your
pants
bike.
in life, because that's the only way to live life, in my opinion. I don't want everything planned out for me. I don't want to know what's next. You know what I mean? I'm gonna.
Agreed.
It's the whole point. But when I'm doing my music, I do have a goal in mind, and I am telling a story. But I never know how that story is gonna come out. This is like now in my features with you, and it's weird you said that it started as because I was just I wrote this down the other day. I was gonna turn it into some kind of writing hook. But I was a trapper, I was a rapper, now I'm an artist. You niggas cappers, that doesn't matter. I go to hardest. It's not as good when I write it down. You know what I mean? But I could turn on a beat right here for you, close my eyes, catch that cadence. But I can't tell you what the fuck I just said. Y'all like it. Y'all like what I just said. It's tantric, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it, bro.
Yeah, that's why I said you and I really look forward to that. So OnlyFans, right? That's the one we were doing.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, we're gonna do OnlyFans. So I can't. I'm telling you, because there's a line in there that you're gonna go nuts over. But my favorite line of it is, she hit me up to chill. They ain't her only plan. Already peeped her socials. I'm not her only fan. Sex in high supply, but love in low demand. We ain't doing nothing. Not even holding hands. I'm fine, baby. Use a vibrator. I'm a vibe. No mind what I pay her. Beauty skin deep. If I don't find layers, then it means she ain't a queen and I'll find mine later. And that's for the hook. Do you remember the hook, Mike?
Bars. Yes, the next one. No, I do not.
I should probably let you know the shit in advance. You should probably go and ask another nigga to dance. Until you stimulate my mind, I'll keep my dick in my pants because I reserved it for a queen and I don't give it to fans.
Now I do. Yep.
Like,
I remember you telling me at the
about
bar.
to body that, bro.
So I'm going.
Avenue 18.
You said what?
Yeah, I can't wait.
So I'm gonna ask you the next question.
Yes, sir.
I said I can't wait.
Am I able to turn this sideways? Will it?
The next question I'm gonna ask you.
It shouldn't affect anything.
Can y'all still see me straight?
You're sideways for us, but I could turn it.
I know it's cool. I'm still not used to this ring lamp, man. I'm down here in the studio. You see that? I painted that with a Sharpie in my girl's.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, man.
Wow, that looked like it was put right on from a painting. Like I don't look Sharpie at all.
Well, a lot of people don't know that's
It looks
actually
like
where I got
Cricut
my
Machine
start
did
in
it, bro.
anything creation. I was actually considered a prodigy in drawing. At the age of 3, I guess I was laying on my belly. I don't remember this. My mom does though. I was laying on my belly drawing, and when she looked, they had faces with emotion on them. And I was just drawing that at 3. But I mean, here, hold on, I'll show you this right here. See what I'm saying? It's a prison doodle.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
you drew that?
I drew it with. I didn't have a
That's
pencil,
gas.
so I had
That's
a piece
awesome.
of I had a piece of
Holy
metal
shit.
that I kept rubbing up against the table, and it would collect like soot material. That's in the hole. I drew that. Man, I could show you all day. There's a lot to unpack, and to be honest, man, my trajectory, this takeoff has been unbelievably fast. I don't know what to say, man. I'm talking to celebrities. I got
It's well worth it though.
people in my inboxes and conference calls with people, and I was made to make music. I was definitely made to make music. I was not made to be a star. You know what I mean? And I don't think Prince was either. I don't.
I can
He
relate to
was a
that.
star.
I agree.
He was a star. There's nothing he could do. But some of the things he said and some of the things he did,
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, they weren't meant to be stars, but they were meant to do music. And we just happen to be a species that really, really supports music. I thank God. But I have a lot of social anxiety issues.
They were
I
meant
have
to be
get
heard,
over.
not seen.
Yeah, man. Oh my God. Wow. That's spiritual. You
I'm the
said
same
that.
way.
Yeah.
It's a long hill
I would
too.
love to be heard, but never seen.
Yep.
I do know like Adele was that way for years. She wouldn't go into public. She was scared. That's why it was like I
Man,
forgot
you know
how many
what's
years I
weird about
remember
her?
reading a story and she just never went out in public. What's
Because of her
that?
weight. Because of her weight. But I'll tell you what, boy, I ought to took her fat ass down. That was a pretty big girl.
Yeah.
That was a pretty big girl.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, now she's stunning. I mean, unbelievably stunning.
I know, she looks like Emily
But she
Blunt.
was from what I understand, she was also in like a.
Yeah.
She was supposedly in like a abusive relationship or something.
Oh yeah, man. She went through. I mean, her singing voice is accredited to throat cancer. She had the beginning stages of
That's
throat cancer and had
crazy,
an
man.
operation
It's insane.
that gave her her smoky, the thing she's known for. When you go to professionals, they tell you
That's crazy,
drink
man.
lemon water
So,
with tea and shit. Pink, the rock star Pink, she accredited her voice to Newport Menthols.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard Post Malone say that. I can't remember who he quoted, but he said such and such smoked cigarettes and he sounded pretty cool. So I think I'll be
100%.
okay.
And I mean, you look cool
Probably Kurt
performing with a
Cobain.
cigarette anyway.
It's probably who he's referring to.
This fucking
Yeah,
Sinatra
fuck
as
yeah.
hell, dude.
Hell yeah, you
Dude, my recording voice
do. Straight up.
with a drink and a smoke, bro.
So, like, who are your influences? What got you into making music?
I don't have any influences. And I know what that sounds like. I don't want to sound. I stay away from music. When I listen to music, all I listen to is Motown or violins, or your music. That the music within my reach that's relevant to me right now, like the people I could be collabing with, or my potential competition.
Exactly.
I do not listen to famous artists. I'm afraid it'll force me to
That's
put
awesome.
That's
my
dope.
music in a box, and because of the fact that I got this far, kind of just reaching inside and whipping out whatever I got, I might as well stay that way. It'll keep me on my toes. It'll keep me uncomfortable and out of my comfort zone. And for some reason, I shine outside of my comfort zone. I am a diamond under pressure.
Yeah, I've noticed that for sure. Yeah, you've rocked a lot of crowds of Venue 18 so far.
I'm curious to know. With that being said, I'm curious to know to date, what is your favorite performance
To date, my
done?
favorite performance I did was #us. I believe Jay Russell and E Major were supposed to make that one, and unfortunately they couldn't because, not every show is going to be packed. And I think what I really loved about this show is that it wasn't packed.
Very true.
It was almost dead, except for the people who are there every night at this bar, and we're just throwing a mini awareness festival in their parking lot the day before they close. But when they saw me, I didn't have, the anxiety that I usually have, like at Venue 18 when there's a whole bunch of people and they're just looking up at you. My blindness kicked in. It's nighttime. I'm outside on a stage. I said, turn those lights off for me, would you? They said, yeah. And they let me have a mic stand. I want them to let me have a mic stand
Yeah.
at Venue 18 because, dude, when I have the mic stand, my anxiety melts away. And I am sexual with that bitch. You know what I mean? I lean with them. Hey,
There is one.
we definitely got to get a mic stand.
There is
Oh,
one. We
really?
had it on stage. I can't remember which show it was, but Brian had to move it out of the way. So, we'll have to make sure we get you that
All right.
for the next show.
Hey, I appreciate that,
It
man.
might be down in the bottom.
Yeah, shit. I'll just put
Down
on
in
some
the
sunglasses and
steps.
turn her up.
Yeah, dude, that'd be awesome. What show are you performing at next for Venue 18?
I'm actually doing the Lit Frank show.
Oh man, there's so many good people going that I want to see. I won't be at that one.
But I was hoping that we would get, because he was talking to Dax and this, and I was hoping he brought somebody in who might sing a little bit because that's just my lane right now. But it looks like they're lined up with rappers, and that's fine. You gotta play the hand you're dealt. So I figured right before drop season, before I do drop season, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit. I'd like to drop like a little 4-track EP, but all rap, so that I have something to contribute at these rap shows too. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. But man, I don't see. You won't need that many because you. Float Away really like this, it elevates the whole venue, and that was going to bring me to my next question is, can you go through like the thought process when you did Float Away?
Yes, my writing process is painstaking, and it doesn't have to be, but I am insufferable and incorrigible. So basically, boom, I heard the beat. I heard the beat, and for some reason, the picture on the beat had a lot of blues in it. So I automatically thought water, right? And the beat was named Deeper. So deeper and deeper. So yeah, that's where I got the hook, just the title. Deeper and deeper we go. But the Float Away, man, it was really hard to come across that because my challenge was to write an unconventional love song without using the word love once. So you could just listen to the words I'm saying without a tone. It's like, what the hell is this dude talking about? But somehow you still know it's a love song.
Right.
That play on tones.
Yeah, you nailed that for sure.
Yeah. So what the song is actually about, it was inspired by my fiance Aubriana. There was a moment when you fall in love, and there's a moment in between that when you admit you're in love, when you admit it to yourself or you discover it yourself. We fall in love before we know we're in love. It's always like that. It's like, fuck, I think I love her.
Very true.
Float Away is about those moments where fuck the honeymoon phase, the butterfly phase. You know what I mean? Where you feel like you're just floating. It's floating. My whole life I felt like I was drowning.
Floating in midair.
A lot of my struggles have come from failed relationships. And I'll tell you, so I've been stabbed, I've been shot at. Nobody put an ass whooping on me like a woman has. I'll tell you that, both physically, emotionally. So this song was pretty much the reason I say, let me float away, leave my mind inside your tide and let my body float away, is because it's actually fear. It's fear. It's like I went to prison because of one girl for a crime I did not commit. The next girl really fucked me up. We ain't even going to talk about her. But this one, I was like, I have to, fresh out of prison, I met Orby, I have to dive right into this. Because if I give up or if I back up and start pushing people away now because I'm scared of love, I will die alone. So here we go, surrendering myself again to possible crucifixion. But it doesn't matter because, blind love kills, but I'd rather die.
Exactly. Man, that's so awesome.
Yeah, that's deep shit, man. I've actually enjoyed listening to you just talk, honestly, bro. There's a lot going up going on up here, and I'm just listening and taking it all in, bro.
So
I didn't know you at all before this interview, so I'm fucking entertained with
Nobody
you for
really
sure,
knows me,
bro.
man.
my question
Yeah.
still about Float Away. The
I
very
do now.
the very beginning of Float Away, is that a sample in the beat itself, or is that your vocal in the
Both.
beginning of the beat of the song?
He wanted to cut that out and tie it down a little bit because it was overpowering in the original beat. So I kind of learned it. I have a whole
Right,
mix
right.
that I have not released. I'm not going to release it because it belongs to Aubrey. I can play it for you guys, or I'll even send it to you, Mike. You're my nigga. But it's called the Lovebird mix.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear it.
I have speakers in here and shit. But that is the song as it was intended to be sang. It is the raw song in its rawest nature. Because actually, I wrote the song. I sat down. I wrote it in one sitting, but that sitting was 6.5 hours because I wasn't going to get up from that chair because I had the studio appointment for that song the next day at 12. I really made a bet against myself, and I was like, I got to pull it. I got to pull this to fucking together.
Yeah.
Literally, one touch. Where did the pain go? Blue eyes. I saw. I wrote that outside the studio before we walked in. Like I was late. Yeah, I did. Brian's Heartlight.
Wow.
Did it off the top.
That was an amazing song, by the way.
Wait till ours, bro. You and me got a couple songs coming out actually because we got that Through the Window.
Man,
We got OnlyFans. I know me and Smith Kid got Carpe Diem coming. Man, I would really love to show you the beat to that, Mike, because there's still
yeah,
there is still
man,
an open verse on it. But it's a hot.
I would love to do
Yeah,
it,
you got to
bro.
spit lava this because it's a very fast paced beat. But I'm saying it gives you the feeling of like kind of like James Bond, but really chaotic. So for the music video, I want us all in like kind of
Yeah.
nice looking, but droopy tuxedos. Like maybe we drank in it the night before, and we're just smoking the shit out of like fifth graders in a field or something.
I'm with that. Like an after party.
It's just got to be wild and over the top, man. Because yeah, I'm trying to bring
That'd
out
be
more
great.
sides of my personality. Man, I almost stopped myself because I don't really have a personality. I have a box of crayons, and I pick a color that suits the situation.
Man, that's such a
But
perfect analogy too.
what you're looking at is my life. Yeah, my fiance is upstairs, but I have to be alone. It's the only way that I can not only be productive but be at peace and win my sacred mission. Not meaning to plug the name of my upcoming EP.
Exactly. I'm the same
It's
way.
called Sacred Mission.
Oh, but before we get too far into this, I forgot to mention to everyone, we'll have a live performance at the end from Blkbird, and also we have a speed questionnaire at the end that will be asking you questions like this or that. Do you like this or that? You kind of got to time yourself in the head and just blurt out the first thing that comes to mind. But we do want to go and ask you, what is your favorite performance to date right now? Because I know you've
It was
done a bunch so
hashtag,
far.
Asked him that one.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry about that. So
even though
if
it
you
was
could,
empty,
I'll let you have to ask. the
even
next
though it was
one.
empty
Yeah.
at hashtag us, it wasn't completely empty. There was people there, and I mean it was busting during the day. By the time I headlined, it had slowed down, but I truly was able to touch and convince and make into believers everybody there. And I think it was because there was no nerves, there was less.
Right.
I penetrated, so I'm trying to get to where I can do that with mass amounts of people.
Now, was that at your hometown?
No, hashtag us was in Mansfield.
Was that the one you did at your hometown?
My hometown is well.
Okay.
I got a couple hometowns. We bounced around a lot, but I was raised in Sandusky. That's the town I claim.
Okay, gotcha. Yep. Okay, I was wondering if that was the one you're talking about. I know that was one that you kind of helped set up, correct? Yep.
I'm gonna ask you a question, man. And you said you really didn't have influences, but I'm sure you got people that you respect in music, obviously. So I'm gonna ask you, if you could work with somebody dead or alive, man, who would it be?
Michael Jackson.
Good answer.
That's a very good one.
I know there was a lot of controversy for his legal troubles, but it just melts away. You don't really think about it when you hear that man sing. I mean, you know, there's a lot of
Exactly.
people that came back and refuted their they
Yep.
took
I
their
always thought.
accusations
I
back and
always
shit.
thought.
But his song "Hold My Hand" saved my life. Literally, it's actually part of why I've
Man, yeah, I can
incorporated. I don't know
relate
if
to
you guys
that,
can
dude.
see the noose and the bird. That is the official Blkbird logo. It's gonna be a blackbird carrying a noose away. In 2018, it was actually my second attempt at suicide by hanging. But this time, my mother found me, and the look in her eyes, it just made me feel like a real piece of shit. Just like, listen, man, I know I'm hurting out here, but holy shit, I just almost hurt other people way more. Because, you know, if I would have went, she would have wondered what she
Exactly.
could have
Yeah.
done.
Facts, bro. Facts.
And she would have never had the answers of whether she should blame herself or not. And the just absolute fear that came in her eyes. It reminded me of every sacrifice she made. And when she barged into my room, she had Hold My Hand by Michael Jackson and Akon playing downstairs. And we kind of just sat there and stared at each other because I broke the bar down when she came in there. And then I just looked at her and I ended up going to the hospital. She's like, I can't keep doing this. Because my first attempt was when I was 16. I was actually gone for a couple minutes. Fucking brought me back. But I'm grateful for it now because my greatest mistake, my biggest failure, is the harbinger for my greatest success.
Man,
This tattoo right
that's
here.
very touching to hear. Like the fact that you've overcame all of that stuff, and now
That tattoo is covering the scar.
before we ask another question, I want to slide in one.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I did not know that, man. What did the tattoo say?
It's 122. It's they used to think it was a gang, but it was just a group of people. I went to a party. I got really fucking drunk and wandered the woods all night while everybody slept in their tents. When they woke up, I wandered back out of the woods and then dive bombed through a table. But midair, I said 122. I was that fucked up, son. Yeah, I was that fucked up, son. I came back. Yo,
That's fucking awesome.
I had red Speedos on and one boot. Yeah, but it turned out to be an
Red
angel number.
Speedos
That
and one
means
boot.
abundance,
Traded your
blessings, and creativity.
Man. But the question I was going to ask you was outside of music and like art wise, do you have any other interests or like fun things you like to do? Hobbies.
Oh, hobbies.
Thank you.
I play a lot of instruments. I kind of was just able to pick up an instrument and learn it by ear. I like to draw comic books. I like to fight. I hate fighting. I hate violence. You know what I mean? I like combat sports. But I think my number one hobby is learning. Learning. If I am not feeding my mind,
Yeah, you can never.
what are you doing? What are you doing? If you're just sitting there, you're not learning anything, you're not doing or creating anything, what are you doing?
something I was taught was
Exactly.
something I was taught is knowledge is never too heavy to carry in a sack, you know, and it's true. I mean, you can never carry too much knowledge, bro. I'm one of them people that always educate myself in different things that I don't know much about, you know.
And but that's how you become humble as well, because people who don't fucking know much, they have some kind of subconscious harp about it within themselves. Like, I wish I knew this. So instead of going and learning it, they'll just cap, or sometimes you straight up fucking lie and pretending like they know. I can't stand that. I can't stand that. I'm a person that I
Yep,
like to be
exactly.
told when I'm wrong. I like being wrong because that means it's an opportunity to learn now. I don't understand
Facts.
why do people want to walk around with the
Yep.
wrong idea in their head?
Exactly. Before we ask this next question, and we do the speed questionnaire, I always have to make this a disclaimer, because we split it up in 2 parts, and the second part is local, and we do not want you to put any order, just your who you like. Just don't put any order, because we don't want nobody catching any feelings. So I'm gonna go ahead and let homie ask the question here.
Who are your top favorite artists, 3 to 5? And then how we do that is we do them famous people and then local artists. So 2 parts.
Do they have to be alive?
No,
No.
Okay, so my number
in
one.
any genre too. It does not matter
Yep.
the genre. Just 3 to 5.
This is a really good one, actually. I'm going to say my number one artist is probably Chopin, classical. Other than that, the Vitamin Strings Quartet. They're at a tie for number one. I know you guys probably never even. Well, you might have heard of Chopin because he's fucking huge, but it's what I listen to.
Yeah.
When it comes to vocal artists, if we're gonna just like in my lane, our lane, I apologize. Singer songwriters, recording artists. It has to be local, or how many local do you want?
3 to 5 local.
3 to 5.
It could be any genre too, local, just somebody that's unsigned.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get the famous people out of the way. Chopin, Vitamin Strings Quartet, Marshall Mathers, Michael Jackson. I
That's a
want
good list.
a conversation with all these people, and that's why I chose them. So I don't want to learn how to be like them or learn how they got. As I want to know what goes through their fucking heads. You know, in times that we experience on stage and shit. I want to know what goes
Yeah,
through
I'm the
their
same way,
fucking
dude.
heads. The
Same
greatest of their. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
I
why
agree.
did Michael Jackson decide right now I'm gonna do the moonwalk and
Yeah,
shock the
you know
world?
what I mean?
Like what went through his head
Yeah,
right
so
before he decided to do it?
how did he develop that? You know, what made Michael Jackson douse his hair so heavily that it caught fire in a Pepsi commercial? You know? He made a lot of choices that I can't say I disagree with, because I don't think I would ever be, in the area to make that choice. But stop poking the monkey, bro. Remember Bubbles? He was always poking the shit out of it.
Yeah. What was that about?
I don't know. He was poking the shit out that monkey, and all I know is when he died, I remember coming on the news. They showed Bubbles, a full-grown, chimpanzee, but he is so fucking huge now. Like he was just babysitting on Michael Jackson's lap, getting Pillsbury Doughboy. He was dragging his fucking knuckles though, about around the time Michael died, and like literally dragging his knuckles, just walking on his front,
Yep.
back legs dangling, walking on his front arms.
Just mad as shit.
Pissed.
Like he's like, where's Caesar at? I'm tired of this shit.
Manila Willa.
All right, so local. Well, obviously, I'm not gonna be careful here, because I'm trying not to be an abrasive person. But if I'm telling the truth, I'm not concerned with hurting feelings. That's kind of not my responsibility. If it's my truth as I see it,
And we love everybody.
and I don't. There's a couple artists I dislike as people, but not artists. I have trouble comparing art in its value, in its intrinsic value. Everything is valid. Now, I do enjoy some more than others, but it's all equally valid. I do not believe that I've written anything or released anything that's better than anyone else. So with that being said, let's give a shout out to Brian Durst. It's kind of been a big bro to me here recently. in this, whatever the hell is happening. Really showed out. I think he was the first person to ever like tell me that I could make it. And I was like, I fucking believe this guy. Why? No, and Handsome, dude. Handsome was saying that shit too. Handsome, I was like, well, dude, you have 27,000 more streams a month than me. I was like, how can you say this with such confidence? Handsome is convinced I'm going to blow up at any day. So shout out Handsome. Shout out my guy Big Mike.
Yeah, he ain't wrong.
Shout
He's
out
not wrong.
my guy Big Mike. Therapeutic was nasty. Therapeutic was
bro.
nasty. Like I said, if I'm going to listen,
Thank you. I
if I'm
appreciate
going to
that
listen
so
to artists,
much.
I'm going to listen to local artists. Because there's something to learn from it. It feels like a cash cow when you're listening to mainstream and radio. That real music is local. Real music is down here to the streets.
I agree.
So that's 3, right? Smith Kid.
Yep.
Shout out
Shout out
Smith Kid.
Smith
That
Kid.
nigga is raw, bro. I mean, I grew up with him. I've known him since I was like 13. So yeah,
Man.
and he was always dope. We would be up in his house because I went to school with his little brother. We'd be up in his house freestyling for hours, bro. So definitely shout out to him and one last artist. This sucks because I don't pay attention much. J. Russell E. Major. I feel like I should be able to do that because they're hyphenated on every J. Russell and E. Major.
Yep, that's allowed. That's allowed.
I don't know if I don't really know how he feels about me because things haven't been drained between us. We just haven't gotten the opportunity to talk much. We were going to do a song together. We still might. But I wish you the best, buddy. I saw him when he dropped his first song, and he came and admitted to me, which I respect a lot. He said he was dropping his song, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm in there." And then I dropped FUTV and Show Me How, and he was like, "Fuck." And a lot of people did. When I dropped my first song, a lot of fucking people was like, "Fuck, this dude's." But I don't consider any of those my song. My first song is "Float Away." That's the way I look at it, because that's the first song. Everything else I've ever done, except for "Float Away" and "The Beach," it wasn't a hobby. It was an accident. It was a happy accident. I'll sit here in this lab and rack my fucking brain until something pretty comes out. But with those, it took.
Yeah.
They were years in the making, but I didn't know it until I was down to the hour of making them. And that's why they're heavily. If you listen to all my songs, even go back to the ones I have hidden on the internet, like Reverb Nation. I actually have a song with my biological father. Ran away when I was 16, and I tracked him down in Utah, and we recorded a track together. Yeah,
Wow.
there's
That's
all kinds of
insane.
breadcrumbs
That's
that
crazy,
I've been
dude.
hiding in the internet
That's
for
crazy.
the last 13 years. Not because I thought I was going to be famous or anything, but because, we can die any day. And maybe somebody out there cared enough about my music to go and dig and do some research. Because if you dig, you find the story. If you find the story, you understand everything this far and you know what's coming next. Ooh, chain broke.
Exactly. So we're gonna get right into the speed questionnaire, and I'm gonna start out with the very first question, and it's pretty much like this or that. So we're gonna ask you about 6 questions each, and my first one is beer or liquor.
Liquor.
Pizza or steak?
Steak.
Yeah.
Baseball or football?
Flying or driving? Riding?
I'm going to say flying. Driving something I'll never be able to do. Flying something I have done, so.
All right. Well, I meant riding in a car, though, like to go to a show. Like, say you got to be in L.A., Would you rather ride or would you rather fly?
Oh, no, still. The probability of dying in an aircraft is 88,000 more or less than driving in a car. It's actually the most dangerous thing you can do in America is driving a car.
Right.
You're exactly right, and everybody in the air is a lot smarter than the people
Right,
on
and
the
it doesn't
ground
matter how
driving.
responsible of a driver
Yep.
you are.
Guaranteed.
Somebody else fucks up, you could lose your life for that, no matter how responsible you're being.
My mama taught me when she taught me how to drive, man. She said, "It ain't." She looked right at me, bro. She said, "It ain't you I'm worried about." She said, "It's everybody else around
Mhm.
you. You have to watch out for." And man, she wasn't wrong. I've never been in a wreck, but I've been wrecked into.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, that's the way it goes. I hate it. And I've been in a lot of car accidents, just as a passenger. One bought my mom a house, actually. Yeah, I was driving with my
It's
buddy. We
bad
flipped
when that happens, but
going over curve, flipped 7 times into a field going down a ravine. It killed my buddy Joey in the back. Really fucked up the driver, Trey. He was drunk and on Xannies. Wasn't supposed to have the car. It was his girlfriend's car. Didn't tell me he was drunk and on Xannies. I just asked him for a ride. When the car was upside down when everything stopped, I looked. Joey was folded like a taco, dude. Like I can look back, even with my blind eyes, like, oh, that nigga's gone. Because people don't. It must be jelly because jam don't shake like that, you know what I mean? And so I looked over and I started calling Trey's name,
Right.
and he didn't respond. And then I start smelling like oil and shit. The car's on fire. So I undo my seatbelt and I drop. Not a fucking scratch on me, dude. I see Trey's arm dangling. It bone, not a scratch on me.
Wow.
So I crawl out of there and I'm like, well, shit. So I start climbing up the hill. I thought both my friends were dead. I hear Trey scream, Tito. So I got back into the car, pulled myself on the back, undid his seatbelt, let him drop onto my chest, and then, yoked him out with my legs and carried his ass up that hill. They called me a hero. I ended up getting like a $64,000 settlement. My mom's house cost $39,000. And since I had run away for so long, I was like 16 to 22. I was going. I'm 23 now. I was like, Mom, I'm ready to be in your life again. And guess what? I came with a house.
That's
Well, it wasn't one of your
though,
questions.
man.
My next one is pencil,
Pencil
or pen?
Oh, pencil.
Yep, pencil or
for sure.
pen.
He's an artist, man. Of course it's going to be a pencil.
Yeah, that is true.
So since you're an artist, I'm going to ask, paint or like oil? What would you rather, or drawing? What would you rather do?
Drawing. I mean, I can sculpt. I can just do it. I think that's my thing, is art, or not even art, creativity. Anything that requires creativity, I'm going to excel at.
That's dope, and that's a great way to be, bro, for real.
Definitely. We're gonna go 2 more each. Lil Wayne or Jay-Z?
So Lil Wayne or Jay-Z? Weezy, baby. Hey, that's
Yep.
for sure.
Hey, please say the baby.
Run that.
This is a yes/no question. Yes/no question. Ambience music. Since you're in a different.
I'm sorry, my iPad is talking to me, and I don't know what. Shut up, Siri.
Oh, you're good.
I said ambient music. It started playing it. No, I wanted to. Since you said you're into like different, like classical music and that type stuff. Are you into ambient music?
Yeah. It has to be really artsy, and like I didn't grow up listening to that. I did grow up listening to everything from hip hop, and I'll carry on. But when I started doing music, I said I'm not going to listen to anything from this era because I don't want anything from this era touching me. There was a difference in the way music was done, composed, what they sang about, how they sang about it. In the 1950s, Motown, and so how are you going to beat that? We got Carly Rae Jepsen. I don't even know if she's still a thing. Fucking Blkbird. What they got on Otis Reddings, dude? What they got on Luther Vandross?
Exactly.
I agree with you. I'm pretty old myself, man. So I'm into, like, I named my son after one of the Eagles, and I'm in the 70s and 80s rock, and like, bro, that's just, I'm old school, man.
I didn't know that myself. My last one is going to be, shoot, I just had it and I lost it.
LJ or MJ, we gotta go with that.
You gotta
one
do
too.
that one. You gotta do that one. Oh, I'll do this one right here. Beach or city?
Beach.
Everybody
I
gonna say the beach.
just want to be as far away from people as possible.
Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
This is a loaded one.
We got a competition going, and we gonna be fighting until the end, bro. Me and Mike.
On a basis of what? Are you saying like which one's the GOAT? Let's see. There's been a lot of changes in basketball. There's been a lot of changes in dietary just since the 90s, since Jordan's reign, since 96. There's been a lot of changes in the amount of competition. There's more young African American kids graduating and getting into sports and stuff. So what we have is an entirely different caliber of players. Some people would like to say that it's undeterminable, but if you look at the amount of points put up, numerically, LeBron James has Jordan rounded out because he's balanced. He plays the game way more than he's trying to go out there and be LeBron James. He has his assists, that he does his thing, and Jordan's notoriously an asshole. So I'll never forget what he did to Chameleonaire. This dude's one of the nicest guys on earth, Chameleonaire. He was the man who set out to make a record without cuss words, and we're not going to fucking count Will Smith. Michael Jordan, he said, "Can I take a picture with you?" And he's like, "I only take a picture with bitches." So yeah, I'm going to have to say LeBron James, Crybaby James. I mean, I would call him Crybaby Jordan, but like really the only time that nigga cried is when he won a championship, or that time his dad. That shit with his dad, that was fucked up. I mean, I have quite a few. I currently have 12 songs that I haven't even hinted at, and I'm not going to. They're vault songs. So I've begun making songs for after I blow. And everything I'm giving everybody is kind of just to keep me afloat until I can really figure this thing out, because I'm dialing down my numerics. So yeah, drop season. First and foremost, drop season. And what drop season is dropping a song, dropping one of those 12 that's guaranteed gonna bang. Guaranteed gonna bang. I've beaten Float Away at least 6 times now. And then from there, drop one song every Friday, all summer. Drop season. And I'm just trying to see what I can do to make my numbers jump. But I also got Sacred Mission. It's a mixtape. A lot of my fans have been asking for more rap tracks, which I don't know. I hate FUTV, man. I really do. It's just filthy. I feel like I'm a little more intelligent and sophisticated than that, and I misrepresented myself. But with that being said, I am taking on the task of doing music videos with this whole streaming shit I got. I found out Cole Bennett, is that Lyrical Lemonade? Cole Bennett? Yeah, for the last year, he's been doing all of his shit off an iPhone. And I have a Pixel 7. It's the only camera better. Yeah, it's yeah, pretty much. And I just like the interface better. So I'm gonna be doing music videos, and I guess with that is my first album. Don't expect a release date any soon. My first. Have you ever heard of Pink Floyd's The Wall? I know you have. I know you have. Or Kanye West Runaway, how it was a visual album. That the first album is going to be a. Yep, no problem. I appreciate you. Inside those ocean eyes with crashing amber waves, leaving
my mind inside, you're tight, and let my